Have you ever walked into your own kitchen and felt so tired that you didn't even want to cook, or opened a drawer, saw the mess inside, and just shut it right back because you didn't know where to start? I remember one morning, I stood in my living room, sunlight pouring in through the window, and yet instead of feeling comfort, I felt heavy. Everywhere I looked, papers on the table, shoes by the door, cups from yesterday, I saw reminders of what I hadn't finished. And in that moment, I felt smaller in my own home. Now here's the twist. The problem wasn't that I was lazy or that my house was too small. It was that I was trying to clean in the wrong way. Big, exhausting sessions that left me sore and discouraged. What no one ever told me was that the real secret to a calm home is not about working harder. It's about knowing a few gentle tricks that make the clutter stop building in the first place. And I think this is something no one really says out loud, especially for those of us over 60. The fear isn't just about a messy house. It's the quiet fear of losing control, of living in spaces that no longer feel like ours, of being forgotten in the very rooms we've lived in for decades. But it doesn't have to be that way. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 10 small, proven secrets, things that real seniors use every day, that don't take strength, don't cost money, and don't leave you exhausted. They will help you keep your home feeling lighter, calmer, and more welcoming. And if you stay with me until the end, I'll share the most overlooked invisible habit, a little gem you might be missing, that ties all the other secrets together. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching from? And how has your relationship with your home been lately? We read every single comment, and your story might be just what someone else needs today. All right, let's begin with secret number 1. It's so simple you might laugh, but it has the power to change how you see an entire room. Secret 1. The first 5 rule. Do you ever walk into a room and feel overwhelmed, even if it isn't that messy? Our eyes don't see everything. They always catch the first 5 things that are out of place. The coat on the chair, the pile of unopened mail, the empty cup on the table, the slippers out of line, and maybe a bag left hanging on the door. Just 5 things, but they're enough to make your whole room feel cluttered. The first 5 rule is simple. Each time you walk into a room, pause for a moment. Let your eyes notice those first 5 things and quietly return them to their proper place. Don't worry about mopping the floor. Don't try to deep clean everything. Just reset the 5 that stand out. I remember Mrs. Caroline, a 70-year-old widow from North Carolina, who told me she used this trick for 1 week. She didn't clean for hours. She simply folded the blanket, opened the curtain, put away a cup, straightened the magazines, and tucked her handbag away. She said her living room finally felt like it could breathe again. And more than that, she felt lighter too. The silent fear many of us carry is that keeping a home neat requires endless strength, like we once had. But it doesn't. Sometimes it's about knowing where to start, without drowning yourself in tasks. Personally, I've noticed that when I practice the first 5, I stop spiraling into the thought that the whole house is a disaster. 5 little resets tell my brain the room is under control, and so am I. As one elderly lady told me, when I fix the 5, my mind feels calm enough to enjoy my tea. So maybe today, as you walk into your kitchen or bedroom, pause and ask, what are the first 5 things I see? Try putting them back. You can do this too. And once you feel that shift, it's time to look at the tiny habits that stop clutter from forming at all. Secret 2, the one-touch rule. Have you ever taken off your coat, dropped it on a chair, and promised yourself you'd hang it later? Or left the mail on the counter to deal with tonight, only to find it still sitting there days later? That little word, later, is where most clutter is born. The one-touch rule helps us break that cycle. It simply means, if you touch something, finish it right then. Shoes come off? Put them on the rack. Mail arrives? Sort it immediately. Junk tossed, important set in one basket. Dirty cup? Rinse it or place it in the dishwasher. One touch, one action, no second round. Mrs. Janet, 68, from Oregon, told me that after 2 weeks of living by this rule, she didn't feel like she was doing more cleaning. She felt like she finally had less to clean. Her dining table was clear enough to actually eat on again. Her chairs weren't taken hostage by coats and bags. She said, "I stopped searching for things because everything was already where it belonged." The fear that lingers quietly in many of us is this: if I don't have the energy to finish everything at once, my house will never be neat. But the truth is the opposite. Finishing each little task in the moment prevents the mountain from ever forming. For me, adopting the one-touch rule felt like giving myself back hours of peace each week. No more piles waiting for me, no more nagging guilt in the back of my mind. Just clean as you go, gently, one touch at a time. Or as Janet put it, clutter isn't from dirt. It's from postponing decisions. So perhaps today, when you walk in with your coat or your bag, try finishing the action instead of leaving it for later. Just once. You can do this too. And now that we've learned how to stop clutter before it even begins, let's step into a method that clears years of buildup in a surprisingly gentle way. Secret 3. The empty nest method. Have you ever opened a drawer, stared at the pile of things inside, and then closed it right away because you didn't know where to begin? That's the quiet exhaustion many of us feel, not from lack of will, but from facing years of items stacked on top of each other without clarity. The empty nest method offers a gentle reset. Instead of rearranging what's already there, you take everything out. One drawer, one shelf, one basket. Empty it completely. Wipe the space clean. Then pause. Look at that bare space and ask yourself, what do I really want to welcome back here? Only return the things you use now, love now, or need for your present life, not the one you lived 10 or 20 years ago. I remember Mrs. Lorraine, a 74-year-old grandmother from Florida, who tried this with her closet for the first time in decades. She told me, "I saw myself in every old blouse, every skirt, but I also saw the woman I've become. I no longer need to dress for an office or for my children's school events. I wanted my closet to reflect the me of today, lighter, simpler, freer." She let go of nearly half her clothes, and for the first time, her closet felt like it belonged to her current life. The unspoken fear here is powerful. If I let this go, am I letting go of who I used to be? But the truth is, keeping too much ties us to yesterday and steals from today. We don't honor the past by drowning in it. We honor it by carrying forward only what still gives us life. For me, the most emotional moment came when I emptied an old kitchen drawer. I realized I had been storing not just utensils, but pieces of old routines that no longer served me. The empty space itself felt like breathing, or as Mrs. Lorraine said, an empty shelf is not a loss, it's an invitation. So maybe today, you could choose just one drawer. Empty it completely, wipe it, and only return what you truly use or love. You can do this too. And once you've felt that lightness, the next secret will help you build trust in yourself again, with just a few minutes each day. Secret 4. The 15-minute promise. Do you ever tell yourself you need a whole day to clean and then never begin because it feels impossible? That's the trap many of us fall into, believing progress only counts if it's huge. The 15-minute promise turns that belief upside down. You don't need all day. You only need 15 minutes. Each day, pick one tiny area, a drawer, a shelf, a basket, a stack of papers. Set a timer if it helps. When the 15 minutes are up, stop. That's it. No guilt, no pushing. Just keep the promise, daily. I met a woman in Arizona, 71 years old, who swore by this practice. She said, "I used to panic looking at my home, but with just 15 minutes each morning before coffee, I saw more change in 3 weeks than in the last 3 years, and I didn't exhaust myself." The hidden fear many carry is, if I can't finish, why even start? But the truth is, finishing isn't the point. Beginning is. 15 minutes is enough to prove to yourself that you are still capable, still in control, still moving forward. Personally, I found that these small sessions removed the shame I had carried for so long about unfinished projects. The weight lifted wasn't just clutter, but self-doubt. Or, as that Arizona grandmother beautifully put it, my house didn't get lighter because I worked harder. It got lighter because I kept my word to myself. So maybe today, pick a single surface and promise yourself just 15 minutes. That promise is enough. You can do this too. And once you've built this gentle rhythm, the next secret will show you how to make sure everything has a place to come home to. Secret 5. Clear zones for every item. Do you sometimes spend more time searching for scissors, glasses, or your keys than actually using them? It's not your memory failing. It's usually because those things don't have a clear home to return to. The truth is, clutter often hides in the shape of little treasure hunts that leave us tired. Here's a gentle practice that changes everything. Give each category of items its own clear zone. Scissors, tape, and pens in a single drawer. Keys, glasses, and the spare battery in a small basket by the door. Medicines in one box, placed where you can see it. Papers in a single folder or cabinet. You don't need labels and you don't need to buy organizers. Just decide on the spot and keep returning things there. I once met Mrs. Ruth, 74, who said she used to waste half an hour almost every morning looking for her checkbook or a stamp. Her house wasn't messy, but nothing had a set home. Then she placed a simple wicker basket near her telephone, with envelopes, stamps, a pen, and a notepad. Now, she told me, smiling, I don't lose time chasing papers. I spend that time calling my grandchildren instead. And here's the quiet fear many won't say aloud. The older we get, the more we worry about losing control over simple things, like not remembering where we put something. But often, it's not our mind failing. It's our system that isn't serving us. When we give our belongings a safe home, we give ourselves back calm. I've learned this myself too. My kitchen scissors now live in one small ceramic cup. It sounds silly, but the relief of always knowing where they are, it makes my whole day smoother. As one woman in Minnesota put it, once everything had a home, I stopped feeling like I was the lost one. So maybe today, pick just one category, your keys, your glasses, or your daily medicines, and give them a zone. You'll see how much lighter life feels when your things stop wandering. You can do this too. And once you've created a home for your items, let's move to something even softer. Tiny gestures of kindness that only take 3 seconds. Secret 6, the 3-second kindness rule. Isn't it strange how one towel on a chair or one glass on the counter can make the whole room feel messy? Small things left undone don't just clutter the house. They weigh on the heart. That's why this little secret is so powerful. The 3-second kindness rule. If an action takes less than 3 seconds, do it right away. Straighten the towel, put the cup in the sink, return the remote to its basket. Don't promise yourself you'll get to it later. Because later rarely comes, and tomorrow's peace starts with today's tiny choices. I remember visiting Mrs. Eleanor, 70, who told me, I used to ignore the small things because I thought they didn't matter, but they did. The towel left overnight made me feel like I was waking up to yesterday's mess. When I started fixing things right away, 3 seconds or less, I felt like I was caring for myself again, not just the house. The unspoken fear here is that small neglect grows into the feeling that life is slipping away from us. But the truth is, each tiny act of order is also an act of presence. It says, I'm here, and I still shape my space. Personally, I love this rule because it makes tidiness almost invisible. It doesn't feel like cleaning. It feels like giving my future self a gift. Just 3 seconds. Just one soft touch to reset a corner. As Eleanor said, those 3 seconds aren't for the towel. They're for me. So maybe tonight, when you see one little thing out of place, pause and give yourself those 3 seconds of kindness. You can do this too. And once you master these micro habits, you'll be ready for the next secret, one that gently balances what comes in and what must go out. Secret 7. One in, one out. Do you notice how the home doesn't get crowded all at once, but one little thing at a time? A gift mug here, a shirt you couldn't resist, a cute basket you thought might be useful. Before long, every shelf is whispering, full. That's where the one in, one out habit comes in. It's gentle, but powerful. Every time something new comes into your home, one old thing goes out. Bought a new blouse? Let go of the one you haven't worn in a year. Picked up a new jar of spice? Check if an old one is expired and release it. Mrs. Caroline, 71, shared with me how she keeps a simple cloth bag in her closet. Each time she buys or receives something new, she tucks one old item into the bag. When it's full, she donates it. She told me, "It feels less like losing and more like sharing. My space stays calm, and someone else gets to use what I no longer do." Here's the quiet fear many seniors carry, that giving away things feels like giving away a piece of themselves. But this practice reframes it. You're not discarding, you're balancing, you're letting your home breathe. I found it myself. A shelf that once overflowed with books now feels intentional because for every new story, 2 older ones moved on to bless another reader. As Caroline put it, when more leaves than enters, peace finally stays. So maybe today, try this on just one category: your mugs, your scarves, or your books. You'll see the difference, and you can do this too. And once you've balanced the flow, the next secret helps you rediscover treasures you already own. Secret 8. Rotate what you own. Do you have things you once loved, but now they sit quietly at the back of a shelf, almost forgotten? It's not that they're useless, it's that they're hidden from sight. This is where the habit of rotation brings life back into your home. Each time you put something away, place the newer one behind and bring the older one forward. Towels, dishes, clothes, even spices. That way, everything gets used and nothing gathers dust in the shadows. I'll never forget a story from Mrs. Linda, 68. She told me about finding a tablecloth she hadn't touched in over 10 years. It still smelled of the cedar chest where it had been tucked away. She ironed it, set it out for tea with her neighbor, and then chose her loveliest one to gift her daughter. "I felt," she said, "like I'd brought a piece of my past back into today." The fear many of us carry is that forgotten items mean forgotten parts of ourselves. But when we rotate and use them, we reclaim those memories instead of letting them fade. I feel this every time I rotate my dishes. Suddenly, the blue bowl I'd ignored for years becomes part of my daily rhythm again. It's like opening a small gift from my younger self. As Linda beautifully said, things come alive again when you let them see the light. So maybe tonight, open one drawer and bring the back to the front. Use it, enjoy it, or decide it's time to let it go. Either way, you win. You can do this too. And as we rotate what we own, another question often rises. Why do some spots always get messy again? That leads us to the next secret, asking why until we find the root cause. Secret 9. Ask why 5 times. Why does the same corner in your home always seem to get messy again, no matter how often you tidy it? The dining table, the counter by the stove, the chair near the window, it's like the clutter keeps coming back on its own. The truth is, it's rarely about laziness. It's about not asking deep enough questions. The ask why 5 times habit is simple. The next time you notice a spot that won't stay neat, ask yourself, why is this cluttered? Then ask again and again until you reach the root. Maybe papers pile on the table because you always open mail there. Why? Because it's near the door. Why? Because there's no other spot. By the 5th why, you often discover it's not clutter. It's a missing system. I think of Mrs. Janet, 74, who used to fight with her husband about tools scattered everywhere. She finally paused, asked why 5 times, and realized he never had a dedicated space. She set out one sturdy basket in the shed. From then on, every tool went there. The clutter and the arguments vanished. Here's the quiet fear many of us carry. If I can't even keep one corner clean, maybe I'm losing control of my life. But often, it's not about control at all. It's about finding the root and adjusting with kindness. I've learned that asking why doesn't blame. It reveals. It gives you back agency. As Janet said, once I found the real why, I stopped cleaning the same mess twice. So maybe today, pick one stubborn corner and ask yourself why 5 times. You might be surprised at what you uncover. You can do this too. And once we've uncovered the roots, the next secret shows how even the tiniest bits of time can change everything. Secret 10. Invisible minutes. How many minutes do you spend each day just waiting? For the kettle to boil, the microwave to beep, the washing machine to finish, or even the TV to come back after commercials? Those little pauses feel useless, but added together, they create what I call invisible minutes. And invisible minutes can quietly transform your home. Each time you wait, do one small act. Wipe the counter, fold a towel, gather the remotes, put away 3 items from the table. You don't need a plan. You don't need energy. Just a gentle action in the gap. I remember Mrs. Claire, 70, telling me, "I thought I was too tired to keep house anymore." But then I realized, while waiting for my tea, I could fold dishcloths. While waiting for my daughter's call, I could clear the side table. It didn't tire me. It made me feel alive again. The hidden fear here is, I don't have the stamina for long cleaning sessions anymore. But that's the beauty. Organization doesn't demand stamina. It asks for awareness. I feel it myself. 1 minute of folding during a kettle boil doesn't feel like work. It feels like gifting tomorrow's self a little peace. As Claire said, I didn't need more energy. I just needed to see the moments I already had. So maybe tonight, while waiting for the water to heat, try 1 invisible minute. Notice how it lifts your space and your spirit. You can do this too. And as we close, I'll remind you, you don't need giant efforts to stay organized. You only need small, loving habits that stack into peace. You don't need to spend your whole day cleaning. You don't need to exhaust yourself chasing a spotless house. What really matters are the little habits, done gently and consistently, that quietly build peace into your home. You're not giving up comfort. You're not erasing memories. You are creating a space that gives back to you every single day. A home that holds you, supports you, and makes life feel a little lighter with each step you take inside. Which secret will you start with? I'd love to hear from you. Share it below. You never know who you'll inspire. Sometimes your story is exactly what another person needs to keep going. And if no one has told you this today, please let me say it now. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are simply ready, and you can do this too. Until next time, my friend, be kind to your space and even kinder to yourself.